paradigm was Google with a search engine. Given the amount, the excessive amount of data around and at our disposition, Google sees the opportunity to become the big player and so on. Okay. Of course, this is continuously evolving and changing, and as we will see in a bit, there are other new things coming up that will change further the landscape. Okay. Now, about disruption, what we must be said is that the rate of change and the acceleration of change and the acceleration of technology evolution builds a gap between our ability to adapt and the speed at which this technology is evolving, right? And that eventually will bring some disruption into our industries and into our business models. And that's something we have to be aware of. And that's what we have to understand. And that's why it's important to really be very open-minded in terms of paradigm shifting. Okay. For example, if we look at Kodak, who was in the memories market, meta market or ecosystem, there were focused in some activities, but they were not looking at the whole picture, right? And they didn't see coming some other competitors that were looking at what customers were, looking at how customers were changing their behaviors and their needs and so on. It must said that Kodak was, I think, one of the inventors of the digital camera. However, that's not what they decided to follow. They decided to stick to their old business model, and somebody else took the lead. Okay, so we have to be really, really, very, very alert in terms of what customers are feeling, needing, and they're experiencing. Okay, so that's something very, very important to take into account. Everything starts from the customer. Now, how do we embrace innovation, disruption? These couple of terms that are very much very hot in the last years. We need to think about an ambidextrous organization where we keep on doing what we have been doing to be successful. That is improving our processes and existing business, refining value propositions, but always in the existing business. Sustaining, of course, as part of it, we're sustaining, eventually replacing and extending some value propositions, getting new channels and reaching new geographies. But at the same time, we need to think about these new paradigms. We're talking about how technology is building new opportunities and how it's shaping the customers' lives and experiences. And that's going to bring in some new business models, new value propositions, and entirely new growth engines based on new business models. Okay, so we have to do both things at the same time, search for operational excellency, and at the same time be thinking about how we innovate in order to keep on growing on a different line of action. Okay, everything always aligned with the strategic intent and the purpose that we have as a company. So, but we just need to be aware that we have to be looking at outside the box in order to try to see what's coming and what we can do to shape the industry on our favor. Okay. Of course, this will bring about some new characteristics in the organization. We'll have to have two different type of teams.